welcome back to Final Fantathon, our quest schedule. Let's play every mainline Final Fantasy game, plus some bonuses, and let's play Final Fantasy XIII. Good to see everybody. We've had an amazing week this week, our second to last week of Indie Gauntlet. Would have been our last week, but thanks to everyone's amazing support, we unlocked the bonus week of the marathon. So we're going to be playing even more indie games next week, and we're giving away a grand prize later today. 3 different indie games we're giving away, so very exciting stuff. Also, I finished my Final Fantasy XVI review last night, so that's going to be going up today. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's already up. Go check it out. It's got some real hot takes. It's going to be a good one. Excited to see how people think of that. And just to hear everyone's kind of final thoughts on 16, because, you know, I played it like a week after it came out, and most people had just played it, but it hadn't really sat for everyone yet. Now that it's been out for a bit and pretty much everyone's played it and done everything they want to do in it, it'll be interesting just to kind of hear everyone's final thoughts. But yeah, back into Final Fantasy XIII. Kind of in a interesting position here, because we're like going towards this. I forget exactly what happened last time, but I know we're kind of at the epic showdown here. I think I got all that stuff, so I guess we'll just go. Let's go and see what happens. Oh yeah, these guys spawned in. The final showdown with Shin. Sacrifice. Yeah, that's kind of 13 in a nutshell anyways. Back to our favorite hallway simulator. Still using Ruin. Are these guys also like... Oh god. That didn't look good. I don't understand. I don't understand why auto battle's giving me Ruin. I don't feel like these guys take more magic damage. Maybe it's just because I had all those debuffs though. My Ruin is doing like 4,000 damage. You can't tell because there's so many numbers. Oh, 7,000. Well, that's mostly because the multiplier's going up. Yeah. Man, it feels like every enemy I've fought for the past, like, several weeks, they all take more magic damage than attack damage. Maybe there's some kind of weird balance in this game where, like, I feel like the game is really loud. Turn down just a little bit. It feels like there's a weird balance where like every enemy in the game has more defense than magic defense, because they figure your magic attack's gonna be lower or something. I don't know. It's very strange, but I swear 90% of enemies take more magic damage than physical damage. Which, I mean, I guess is fine, but why'd I spend all these upgrade points on this weapon? I should have upgraded the one with more magic damage, I guess. Just turn lightning into a mage. That's right, I already did the Sarian. I really don't want to do... Like, why give me the strike options? Just do these. They have a weakness? No. If you're gonna throw spells, then throw spells. Bang, just got blasted.
Take down the enemy. Appreciate it.
I do like how the auto battle puts in that first attack just to launch. It's pretty smart.
Follow my lead.
How's it going, Retro? How's it going, Xerix? Oh, Bang's dead. It's fine, we don't need her.
Let's go.
What is going on here? Are they trying to fight each other? And failing? This worked out well. I probably could have attacked the other guys because they weren't even aggroing me yet. Uh-oh. I thought he was dead. There we go. Yo, PS5 Alex, thank you for the Prime. 43 months, man. Been around a long time. Appreciate you. Been around since we were PS4 Alex. Those were the days. Yeah, man, it's good to have you around. Today is a good day to be around. We got a lot going on today. Alright. Neil just got blasted. Man, look at all those debuffs I can do now. What weapon is Fang using? The Pandoran Spear. I upgraded it last week, I think. For the first time. our stagger bonus is just so quick now. How's it going, Mikey boy? Just let Fang launch him. I feel like Vanille just does not do as much damage as she should. I feel like I do more magic damage than she does. Which, to be fair, I have like almost the same amount of magic. But still. I'd rather not say if it's the final stretch, because it kind of ruins the surprise to me if I'm at the end of the game or not. Having said that, I've beaten this before and I think we are pretty close, but I'm not 100% sure, so. Nope, we're just going forward towards the objective. Also, nice bot. I got it. Be gone, bot. How's it going, lady? Hope you're doing well today. No, that's just kind of how the game goes. The game is just constant battles that are very similar. We are moving towards the objective. We are moving down the hallway. In fact, the objective is right there.
Looks like no one was spared.
He really wants us dead.
The bosses are starting to get real repetitive. But, I mean, I knew we were going to fight this thing again, since it ran away before. Also, ow. That didn't feel great. Man. He ain't messing around. Yeah, I like that better. Be defensive. Oh yeah, this is the guy with the banana peel sounding lasers. I don't think there's any debuffs I can give him. I don't know if I should heal or try to stagger him. I don't know if this cancels his move or not. Looks like it did. Hanna-Barbera mech. Did not get much damage off. Oh, I missed my... Oh, I hit my smite. Nice 82,000. Oh god, I forgot about this attack. Feel lightning. Annihilation mode.
Thank you.
What is this? See more on this? I feel like that's the case with a lot of people. I got a lot of comments from people that said like I haven't played this since it came out, so it's cool to see it again. I was the same way. Played it when it came out, beat it, platted it. I remember enjoying it, and then I never touched it again other than for a random event we did where I played it for like an hour.
This will be quick.
But that's it.
We can win this.
I mean, given its linearity, it is kind of a one and done game. The only like big reason to play it again would be if you wanted to play different characters and try like different character combinations. Which that is definitely something you could do. I could play this again and play like Hope Snow or something, and it would definitely be a different experience.
Thanks.
Yeah, in terms of going back to this game, though, I don't think I could get through the beginning again, I'll be honest. Like, the beginning of this game is something I can only do every, like, 5 years, you know? Once I do it once, I'm set for the next 5 years. Because it's so slow. And so drawn out. That's definitely my biggest gripe with this game, I think, is how slow and drawn out the beginning is. If you just full heal. Am I dead? Bro, I didn't even get a chance to heal! Okay. Well, he was...
How can it end like this?
He got upset. I said that Final Fantasy XIII has a slow beginning, and he took that personally. I'll give you that. Yo, some dumb, thank you very much for the 11-month primer. One more month to your full year. Thank you, man. Really appreciate that. Why did you put... Okay, now I'm just really sus. Why would she throw out a single ruin and then 4 attacks? What's the idea behind that auto battle? What's the thought process there? I really appreciate that, man. And I appreciate you being here. Just hanging out. Well, let's see. If I do auto battle now. Now, if I do auto battle, it's all attack. So maybe it's because I didn't leave her yet. So it was like, we'll throw out 1 to see how it goes. But then just do that every time. It's just kind of for your information. Okay, so I wonder if the idea here is we cannot let him charge, like, ever. If he charges once, we lose. But I don't know, was he even charging when he did that big heal and boom last time? I really wasn't paying attention. The fight seemed pretty cut and dry, so I was just kind of chatting. I was not paying attention to what was going on. Oh yeah, by the way, Ever Crisis came out, what, yesterday? I don't think I'm going to be partaking. I'm just not interested. It's a gacha game, but doesn't really have any of the stuff that's fun in gacha games. And I just don't understand. I'm frustrated with the way it was marketed. Because it says the whole idea behind it was a new chance for a remake. So it was supposed to be like the original game, but better graphics, like we all said we wanted before the remake came out, right? But it's not that. Half of it's the remake. Like all the animations and videos and stuff are all from the remake. So it's not another idea for a remake. It's we recycled a bunch of remake stuff and turned it into a mobile game. Which, like, is fine, but then just call it, like, Final Fantasy VII Remake Crisis. I don't know. It's just, either it's another remake, or it's just a bunch of Final Fantasy VII stuff in a mobile game. But don't call it what it's not. Like, don't call it another chance at a remake, but then half of it's remake content. Is it the original continuity, or is it the remake continuity, or is it just a mobile game that uses all the continuities and is just for fun? The answer's C, but they marketed it as if it were A, and that's kind of my frustration. Does that make sense? But regardless, I would play it if it looked fun. The problem is it doesn't look fun. It's just stereotypical mobile game, and I have a big problem. So I've tried a bunch of different gacha games, and I have found that if you're not collecting characters or something that's like really exciting, I just get insta bored with it. Like if you're collecting weapons, it's just so boring. Like you grind for hours and hours and hours to pull a pack of weapons, and that's just not fun for me. Like I don't care about weapons. I want to get like characters, you know. I want to spend hours and hours and hours grinding and then hit that big 10 wish pack and get like a 5-star Tifa. Like that would be fun. But that's not at all what it is. You have your characters and you pull weapons, which is just not exciting to me. Like I don't care about weapons at all. I think the only mobile game that could possibly do weapons and I would care at all would be like a Kingdom Hearts mobile game. Which the Kingdom Hearts mobile games are totally different. They have their own stories and everything. But if they were to do like an Ever Crisis thing, but it was Kingdom Hearts, then I'd be like, oh, I got the Fairy Harp, and I got Oblivion, and I got, you know, like, because the weapons in Kingdom Hearts are like pretty important to the story, and are very memorable. Like, I don't care about getting Final Fantasy VII weapons, half of which are not even in the game, they just made them up. Like, oh boy, I got a machine gun for Barret. Like, it's just not, I don't know. It just doesn't sound very interesting. And the other thing that I, like, was interested about was the, the story, because the story is supposed to be the compilation of Final Fantasy VII pretty much to a T, but some of the dialogue has been changed to be better translated. So that was exciting. It's like, oh, we get to play Final Fantasy VII, but with a better translation. Like, that's cool, right? But then they also changed a bunch of other dialogue for no reason. So it's kind of just their own story they're telling. And that, like, totally kills it for me, because I don't care about hearing Final Fantasy VII's story for a third time. Like, I got the original and I got the remake. I don't need to hear the same story again from, like, another writer. Like, if it were the exact same as the original, but the translation was better and, like, different and interesting, then maybe, but
Thanks.
it's more of like a fan fiction, yeah. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like they took too many liberties, from what I read. And I played the demo, and the combat wasn't super interesting. It was okay. For a mobile game, it's fine, but it wasn't something that I'm going to play specifically for the combat, so... Yeah, the story is... They took too many liberties with the story, so I'm not really interested in the story. The gacha mechanics just don't sound fun. So yeah, kind of all the different reasons I had for playing it are not really there for me. I might still, I'm probably gonna have it on my phone and maybe throw it on when I'm bored, but I'm definitely not, like, grinding it. Ow. I'm dead. Oh, I lived. Thank you, Vanille. I kind of just have to chill until he goes aerial, because otherwise you get blasted. Let's not let him charge. Stop doing strikes. Yeah, I mean, it's a well put together, like, game, like, technically. Oh, the other thing that frustrates me about it, there's a currency that you can't get unless you pay. So there are, like, pay-to-win mechanics, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but pretty much every modern gacha game I've played over the past, like, 10 years has a way to get the premium currency without paying. I shouldn't say 10 years. Past, like, 3 years. Like, it's very common now that there is a way to get the premium currency, but it's very slow. It's pretty rare now that you have, like, an actual, just straight up, you cannot get this currency in gacha games. So I feel like Square's kind of behind the ball with how gacha games work now. Swipe. Nice. It certainly doesn't have to be that way, but that was kind of a turn off. Like, oh, there's just a straight up pay-to-win currency.
Don't give up.
Man, haste. Haste is the best. It is cool that it's a way for people to experience the compilation, though. Even if it's not perfectly one-to-one. A lot of people are never going to play Dirge. A lot of people are never going to play Crisis Core. A lot of people are never going to play Before Crisis. A lot of people are not going to play First Soldier. Not that that really has any story in it, but you know what I mean? So it's nice that people get to see those stories and kind of generally what happens in those games and get a feel for the compilation, which also helps with the remake, because the remake is going to have at least some compilation stuff in it. And it's cool to see that, you know, you'll have a little bit of context now. Hurry up. So yeah, it's not a total loss or anything. I'm sure a lot of people are enjoying it, but for me, what I enjoy out of mobile games, which is very little, is just not there. Especially the collection aspect. That's what really sucks. Is like, I just don't want to collect weapons. I just do not care about that. It's way more fun to collect characters and combine characters and, you know, get that 5-star character and level them up, and like that's kind of the gacha way that has worked for most games. Collecting weapons is just not the same energy.
This battle is ours.
It's pretty bare bones too. There's not really much to do or get. Kind of just go through the missions from what I've seen. There's only like 2 packs to pick from or something to buy. Which is fine, I'm sure they'll add more, but it's weird because they did a whole beta and they've been talking about Ever Crisis for like years. So I just kind of figured it would drop like with a big bang, like, oh, there's all these things you can buy. I'm thinking from day one there's a giant store with 1 million skins to buy. But there really isn't that, which is like surprising. They must have focused much more on just getting all the missions done and all the text and dialogue, which is good. Glad they focused on that instead of skins. Oh, the other really funny thing that Mars showed me, the microtransactions, you can only buy 1 a day. Which you would think, like, oh, that's kind of nice, so that people can't, like whales can't just straight up super pay to win. They gotta at least wait. But you can buy each pack once a day. So, like, and I'm not talking like the packs, like the weapon packs, but like the packs to buy the premium currency. So there's like a $5 pack that gives you like 500 premium currency, and then a $10 pack that gives you 10 or 100,000 premium currency, right? And it goes all the way up to $70. There's like a $70 pack that gives you like 70,000 premium currency. And they didn't make it so you can only buy 1 of those a day. They made it so you can buy 1 of each of those every day. So you could spend up to like $120 a day. So like, what's the point? You might as well just make it infinite. Oh my god. I forgot about the retaliation. You might as well make it infinite. Like, what's the point? It's just this artificial way of like, when you open up the store, you're like, oh, that's nice. You can only buy 1 a day. But that's not at all. I mean, you could spend almost as much money as you want, really. Yes, I was talking about physical whales. I wasn't talking about people with a lot of money. I was talking physical whales. I know many physical whales that play mobile games. I met them all while playing Echo the Dolphin. Good. I've had this discussion before. It's always an interesting one to have, because I don't really think there is a right answer, but do you think that whales ruin the games, or the developers ruin the game? Because some people would say, because whales exist, companies put in all these super microtransactions because the whales will buy them. And if whales would just stop buying them, then mobile games would be better. Which is a fair argument to make. But my rebuttal to that is companies don't have to take advantage of whales, they choose to. And whales are not always people that actually have a lot of money. Sometimes whales are people that spend a lot of money that shouldn't. And game companies take advantage of that because they can. They don't have to. They're not being forced to. The whole idea that companies have to take advantage of whales or else they'll go out of business is silly. That's not the case at all. Whales are just the reason that every company makes a mobile game, because they're that successful. If whales didn't exist, then mobile games would just be like any other game. They'd make a pretty good profit on them and that'd be it. Whales are the reason that mobile games are like super popular for developers. So they don't have to take advantage of whales, they choose to. So whose fault is that? The company or the whales? Yeah, devs have to make money, but they don't have to take advantage of whales to make money. They make plenty of money without whales. And if they are only making their money off of whales, then that's the company's fault. The game probably sucks. Or they didn't make it well enough to make money on its own. You know what I mean? Like, I get your argument, but I disagree with it, because mobile games existed before whales. And they did just fine. And companies do not have to make mobile games. They choose to make mobile games, and they choose to take advantage of whales because that's the most profit. Like, Square Enix isn't out here like, oh man, if we don't make a mobile game and take advantage of whales, we're going out of business. Like, no, they're perfectly fine. They're perfectly fine never making a mobile game. They choose to make mobile games because it makes them a ton of money. Not because they literally have to stay afloat. So I find it hard to blame whales for, like, a game being bad. Like, yeah, it sucks they exist, but it's not their fault that the companies specifically target them. Like, but more so, it's not their fault that our experience is worse. It's not their fault that the developers are creating games that if whales take advantage of, then the game sucks for everyone else. Like, that's the dev's fault. I never understood what the Final Fantasy XV mobile game was going for. It was going for your money, that's what it was going for. The Final Fantasy XV universe, guys. Y'all gotta buy the game and get the mobile games and buy the book and watch the movie and... Oh, just wait. We're almost there, guys. Just wait. Just hold off, okay? We're almost there. We got this and we got 14 and then we got a bonus game and then we're on 15. and I can talk about how terrible the entire 15 universe is. I'm genuinely hoping that I enjoy 15 more than I did the first time through, but I will have much to say about everything surrounding 15, because everything surrounding 15 was awful. Everything that wasn't 15, but had 15 in the name, is like the reason it was so hard to enjoy 15. Yeah, I mean, I'm not specifically talking about people that are... Because that's always been an issue. Like, anyone that's blaming people that are addicted to gambling for, like, instead of blaming the developers for having predatory products, they blame the people that buy the predatory products. They're just really lost in the sauce. Like, I don't know what to say. You've never had anyone in your life that's been genuinely addicted to something. You've never had anyone in your life that genuinely, like, cannot control themselves with that kind of thing, and or just in a rough part of their life and don't know what to do with money and spend it on the wrong things and are mentally unstable. Like, one day you'll have someone like that in your life, and then you'll realize that how difficult it truly is for them to not fall into the same traps over and over. But I'm more so talking like actual just whales, like people that just have a lot of money that like to spend it on mobile games. Because people like to blame them for ruining the mobile game. And although technically they do, I kind of feel like it's more the developer's fault for designing the game around whales. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, they don't have to do that. They're doing it because it makes them more money. And people like to say, oh, well, they're a business. Obviously, they have to make money. But, like, they don't have to make that much money. They don't have to specifically target whales. They could easily release a mobile game and still make fat stacks because mobile games make fat stacks. You can make a fun mobile game that still makes money. They have a decision. It's like, we either make even more money and take advantage of the whales, or we still make good money and we don't take advantage of the whales, and they choose to take advantage of the whales. So for me, it's like they're making that choice. I think we're allowed to be frustrated with that. Like, I think we're in our right to be angry because they specifically made that decision. It's not like Square Enix is out here like, oh, if we don't have this mobile game that is specifically designed for whales, we're not gonna make our next paycheck. Like, we're gonna have to let people go. Like, no, definitely not. They're doing just fine, you know.
Thank you.
Maybe some companies that only do mobile games, like smaller mobile game companies, maybe that's the case, but certainly not these big developers. Except they would?
Thanks.
You sure about that? You think if Ever Crisis didn't come out, Square Enix was going under? You think that's the end for them? If they didn't have that, those two Kingdom Hearts mobile games, which actually weren't really built for whales from what I remember, but you think they'd be gone? That's the end for them? Well, that's more of a... I mean, Square Enix, it's kind of hard because Square Enix is a foreign company. It's hard for me to really know exactly how their business works, but for companies like Bethesda and stuff, it's very obvious that they just pay their higher-ups way too much money, and that's been a problem for a long time. At that point, it's more of a... Do we pay our higher-ups less or do we make this mobile game, or do we make Elder Scrolls Blades? Like, basically, like, do we make Elder Scrolls Blades, or do we stop paying our higher-ups bajillion dollars, and they chose to make Elder Scrolls Blades? So can we really blame the whales for that? That's my point. Can we really blame the whales for, like, putting all their money into Elder Scrolls Blades, even though it's bad, when the developers specifically made the decision to make that instead of something else? Yeah, for sure. You can blame them for it even being an option. I think the blame maybe goes both ways, but I just, I hesitate to just be like, well, the whales ruined it, you know? When in reality, it's like,
Don't panic.
they made the game specifically to let whales ruin it, right? So I can't fully blame the whales. Yeah, without a doubt, no matter what, it's never the CEO's fault. Let's get that straight right now. Let's not get too crazy here. 100% not their fault. And, you know, it's been so many years of them continually taking advantage of people, too. It's not like they just did it once and made their bag. It's like years and years and years of them just continually taking advantage of as many people as they possibly can. And we're just okay with that. But, like, do you see my point? Like, not only are we okay with developers continually creating games that prey on people that can't help themselves and also prey on whales. In this context, I'm talking about whales in terms of like people that are not addicted. They just spend a lot of money on mobile games. But, you know, they specifically target people that are addicted and can't help themselves and are mentally unstable. And they also prey on regular whales, right? And they've been doing it for years and years and years. So when a new game comes out, and there's some kind of pay to win, and people say stuff like, oh, well, the whales are gonna ruin it, that's where I'm just kind of like, you know, I don't know if it's right to just blame the whales. Like, at this point, it's been years and years and years, and they're just continuing to do their thing, and companies just continually making the same exact gameplay loop to take the same exact money from the same exact people. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, it's hard for me to look at that and be like, 100% whale's fault. Yeah, I think I just need to I either need to pay attention and stop talking about whales, or I need to put a HP item on Lightning so she stops dying. We're not even, like, dying, it's just Lightning's dying, so. In the context that I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about rich people who are bored. That's what some people would say, that whales are also like mentally unstable and addicted and whatever, but that, for just the context of this conversation, I'm just talking about rich people who are bored. And there are many of them. There's many more than you think there are. The mobile game market is like a huge percentage of whales. But no, like it's way more nuanced than that. There are many people who are bored and get addicted to mobile games who should not be spending that much money, or people that spend a lot of money that are not really rich, but, you know, have enough money to do so. Like, it's way more nuanced than that, but just for the sake of this conversation, I'm just talking about, you know, the really crazy whales that, I mean, I used to know a guy on PSN. I never knew him physically, but I knew him on PSN. He was a PSN friend back in the old PS3 days when we had PSN friends that we only knew on PSN. Every time a new mobile game would come out, he would get it, spend like upwards of $1,000 on it, and then drop it. And I was like, this is the most unhealthy thing. Like, I could understand if you really enjoy a mobile game and you throw hundreds of dollars, like, who am I to judge, okay? I've spent hundreds of dollars on League of Legends skins, okay? I'm literally the lowest of the low, okay? But he would legitimately spend hundreds of dollars on a game that he would drop in a week. It's like he would get that dopamine hit of like, oh, I'm level 1. Now I've spent hundreds of dollars, I'm level 100 and can beat everything. And then just be done with it the next week and move on to the next game. Like, it was so unhealthy. Like, I would just watch this and be like, oh my god. Like, I can't. It didn't seem like he was mentally unstable or like addicted to it. It's just something he genuinely enjoyed doing. But I'm sure he looks back. There's no way he doesn't look back on that now and think like, wow, I was an idiot. I mean, he was like mid-20s or maybe even early 20s when he did that. There's no way he doesn't look back on that now. I mean, unless he's just like super rich, but he was not rich when I knew him. He had like, he was in college, like, I think he didn't go to college and he had like a pretty well off job. So and he didn't have like a wife or kids or any family. So he just had a lot of spend cash. Like, he just had a lot of disposable income. And that's just what he chose to spend it on. Instead of going to the casinos or going out every weekend or whatever, he spent it on these mobile games. So like, there's worse things he could have spent that money on. But yeah, like, unless he's just rolling in it now, I can't imagine he looks back on that and thinks like, yeah, that was a great decision. Like, surely he has to feel like he made a horrible mistake. I don't know if I should give myself more strength. I think I'm gonna take this. Give you this. And give you this.